So I've just arrived in Tennant Creek and I thought I'd make a little video because basically from Tennant Creek onwards we're going into what I used to call my stomping ground. I used to work in a roadhouse not far from here, and I'm actually going to stop at Barrow Creek Roadhouse, which is the roadhouse we used to go to after work finished at Tea Tree, 200 kilometres down the road. And on a Saturday evening we'd go and catch up with the owners there and the staff there, and we'd have a night and either crash in our cars or drive back drunk. Anyway, so the feeling of coming back to this area, because I lived in Alice Springs for around 10 years, and so from 74 to 84, and Alice Springs is a place where I had a lot of my firsts. I had my first job there. I went to high school there for the first time. I had my first kiss there. Kelly Burns, I remember. And I also had my first lover there. And it was also the place where I left home and then eventually travelled away from Alice Springs. And I was listening to a podcast, a TED Talk this morning on the way up here while I still had internet. And he was talking about DNA mapping around the world. And he mentioned that in actual fact, it was mostly women who emigrated from their place of birth, and it was easier to track women's DNA than it was men's because, as he said, there were a lot of milkmen around in those days, and so it was difficult to kind of keep tracking where people were coming from. So, and it's interesting, I think that, yes, it was my mother who decided when she was living in Germany that she wanted to leave, and she went to Canada and then eventually came back to Germany and then moved to Australia. And we ended up in Alice Springs because we got stuck there. We didn't have any money, and Dad had to get a job and Mum had to get a job, and we ended up spending a lot of time there. And it's Rex, he goes off as soon as I don't pay attention. Rex, come here. He's gone down the hill. Hang on. I'll just go and find him and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. He scampered down the hill, right down there. Anyway, so it's amazing. So when I look at myself and all my girlfriends out there, we all came from somewhere else. It was all us who moved, hey, So anyway, so yeah, so I've stopped here at this beautiful area near Tennant Creek, and before I actually go through that mountain range behind me, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm going to hopefully start to recognise places. And, it's a long time ago, 84, 30 years ago, 35 years ago. That's a long time ago. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, but I don't know. I mean, even just driving in here, recognising the mountain range, it was just like, oh, so familiar. And I don't know what to expect. I don't know, we'll see.